for the season to make the playoffs. And even when they won their first 3 games and Dak lit it up, you remember all that? All those fraudulent...
Skip wouldn't let me forget it.
Yeah, all those numbers, and everybody was saying, back up the Brinks truck and sign him. He's moving towards being an elite quarterback and all that. And now they haven't beaten anybody with a record over 500. The Cowboys, they stink. And I know you're hurt, Skip, because you thought this was the year, especially after they signed Ezekiel, right? And, they had everything going. This was going to be the year.
Jalen Smith,
everybody got paid.
Travis Frederick back.
Yep.
And instead, I do believe the Eagles are going to win this division. Wow. And they'll win their last 3 games. And the Cowboys will lose all 3 of their games. And that's going to be it. And it won't be pretty for the Eagles. They had a lot of injuries. But their game against the Giants, and people can dog them about how ugly it was or whatever, but that, to me, was a big win. Down 17-3 at the half, looking awful. They pitch a shutout defensively in the second half, and they do what they have to do, and they get the game-winning touchdown with less than 2 minutes to go.
Wow.
But that's what they needed. They needed that to save. They needed it to save their season, Skip.
They saved it.
You know what? I always tell you, sports has a short menu. You know what your restaurant?
Yep.
Wins and losses. That's all there is.
No, his restaurant now has only losses.
Yeah,
is that right?
The Cowboys. And the Patriots have been spending a lot of time at my place. I'm doing good.
And you know what? You just mentioned the Patriots. Skip bet me that, and I said that the Patriots wouldn't make it to the AFC Championship game. Do you remember that?
I do.
Okay. Remember that bet, Shannon.
Yeah. And I'm just a seasonal operation. So, I got to get all my money during football season.
Sure.
And the Cowboys and the Patriots got me looking real good. I'm going to be in the red.
I thought you were opening basketball.
Oh, I ain't worried about coming.
No?
Ron ain't coming. Ron ain't never come yet. Ron ain't
really?
come. Yeah, he can't come. He busy.
The deeper we get in the season, he might be living there.
He busy.
Yeah.
Look. I picked the Eagles at the beginning of the season. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in Skip. At some point in time, you just can't keep trotting undrafted free agents. And then Monday night, it got so bad, they were thinking about putting the backup quarterback in at receiver because they only went into the game with 3 healthy receivers. Alshon goes down almost like the first series of the second half, and then Arcega-Whiteside injures his hamstring, and so now they got 1 receiver. So they're going with Greg Ward, who played quarterback in college. Skip, Jacoby Myers. He was a quarterback in college, undrafted free agent player receiver. That's who Tom Brady's throwing to. That's why Tom Brady's looking so bad. He ain't mentioned nothing about that. Now Carson Wentz, walk it to him. Had the ball on his hands and but don't worry about it.
Wait, does Tom Brady have Zach Ertz? How about Dallas Goedert?
No.
Tom Brady's tight ends as a group are the worst in football.
He has a Hall of Fame receiver in Julian Edelman. That's what you told me.
No, you told me he's not in the Hall of Fame.
I thought Tom Brady did more with less than anybody in the history of the NFL.
Yeah. I was thinking
that was the argument.
Wait.
That's how they built up the narrative.
Until he got so sabotaged by his head coach, who wants him gone, that he's got no line, no run game. They're 23rd in rushing now. But this is about the Dallas Cowboys.
Skip, okay. I just have zero faith in the Cowboys, Skip. And I know deep down inside you don't have a whole lot of faith in them either because what you've been watching is that you saw 2 good drives and then they go like the next 2.5, almost 3 quarters and do absolutely nothing.
Until the quarterback threw for 224 in the 4th quarter, which is hard.
And what'd he do? Look at me. But hold on. You talk about my quarterback. He needed the 4th quarter and overtime to throw for 220. He gets a dub and you poo-poo it. And now Dak has thrown for all these yards and hadn't won anything. He's lost 5 or 6, right? And you hyping him up.
I'm hyping him up.
Don't worry about it.
Dak's going to win the Stat Padford Award this year.
But you know what? He'll get comeback player of the year in 2020 because he ain't nothing going on this year.
Really?
But look, I'm taking the Eagles, even though they've been besieged by injuries. But right now, this is a contest, and neither one of them looking pretty. So I'm going to have to go on congeniality. I'm going to take old Dougie P over Big Red.
Are you really?
Yep.
So, first of all, I got a bet that I'm going to propose to Rob Parker. Another dinner that Dallas wins at least 1 more game. Right here, right now.
Let's do it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I appreciate that. So I just canceled out the other bet.
Is that where we're going?
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
So, I will admit to you, my confidence has wavered, but it is not non-existent yet. The point spread for this game against the Rams has plummeted from Dallas by 4.5 all the way to Rams by 2. I've never seen.
Oh, it's going to 2 now?
Yep.
Yes.
That was this morning. I forgot to check. just now.
Vegas is
But
all the money's coming in on the Rams, right?
like crazy money coming in because there's never been a bigger point swing without an injury to a quarterback.
Yes.
And as far as I know, my quarterback's got 2 hurt hands because he was limited in practice. And he's got a bad
nothing wrong with his
Well, he
hand.
does. He does. He's got a banged up. He hit his index finger on a helmet the other night. But he did limited. He practiced limited. So no big. That's not why that point spread plummeted. It's because of the eye test of the Rams look like the Rams, and the Cowboys look even worse than the Eagles. Think a lot of people except me. My quarterback is still better than your quarterback.
No, he's not.
It boils down to that. And my quarterback has still had a very good year. I would be the first to admit he hasn't made enough of the plays, but he's made a whole bunch of plays because he's leading this league in yards passing. They're leading in yards gained.
Trash yards.
They are #1 in Pro Football Focus. To this moment, they are still ranked #1 in offense by Pro Football Focus. They grade them out as the best offense, and it's mostly because my quarterback, who is still 3rd in QBR in the league, that's pretty special. He's had a very good year in spite of the rest of them.
When you admit that a lot of that is he padded those first 3 games, a lot of numbers.
You know why? A lot of it is
stats.
because he won't quit. He'll just keep firing. And he kept firing in the 4th quarter and almost got them back in that game.
No, he didn't.
You know it, and I know it. And he almost got them back in the game against Aaron Rodgers.
But he's the reason why they got him out of the game, because he did nothing.
No, he did not. Did he turn the ball over in Chicago? No, he
but
didn't.
Skip,
turn it over.
the quarterback job not only is not to turn the ball over, but his job is to move the ball and put it in the end zone. Did he do that in Chicago?
They missed 19 tackles. It's the most missed in over a year of football played in the NFL. We haven't seen anything like it in a long time.
And Dak missed 19 throws until the score got 20, when the score was 24 to 7.
It's hard to miss 19 throws when you throw for 224 in the 4th quarter. No. So the point is, I got a lot of fat cats who got overpaid and they are resting on their laurels, and it's fat cat syndrome. And I throw Zeke in there, and
Zeke's having a good year,
he
Skip.
is not. He's 5th in rushing after he led it for 3 straight years.
Skip,
That's 5th, top 5? You would take a top 5 running
He's
back?
gone 5 straight games without 100 yards. Stop it. I don't even recognize him anymore.
You recognize
How about D. Marcus Lawrence, except there's no D. He's just Marcus Lawrence. $100 million defensive end, and even he's saying, I just haven't shown up the last 2 weeks. Well, how about
What you mean
showing
2
up?
weeks?
Yeah.
This season.
Thank you. Jalen Smith, everybody's picking on him now in pass coverage because he got paid, man, and I just don't think he comes out really willing to lay it all out on the line.
It's hard when your money bag's trailing behind
So
you.
it's everybody's fault except for Dak.
You noticed that
He's
too?
all I got.
noticed that. He
He's
mentioned
all
everybody.
I got.
Well, you ain't got much.
He will carry me home
No, he
because
won't.
my team is still going to beat the Eagles at Philly because my team just loves to play at Philadelphia. They beat them there last year. They've beaten them, 1, 2, 3 times in a row. This will be the 4th time. And I thought all year they can beat that team. And you do have more injuries. I lost Leighton at Van Der Esch, and then I noticed in the chart in The Athletic this morning, he leads the team in missed tackles. So after I haven't had him for 4 games, and despite having missed 4 games, he still has the most missed tackles. So maybe I'm better off this way.
But Skip, let me ask you a question. You said the defense and guys not doing this, yada, yada, yada. What about your offensive line? Are they blocking? Are they the same unit?
Fat cat syndrome. Did they not all get paid? Not this year, but previously.
They've gotten their
all
money.
of them.
Yeah.
All of them got their money.
Here's why you shouldn't have confidence that they're going to make the playoffs. When you talk about missed tackles, they're tied for the 3rd most in the league, right? And you look at the other teams who are down there with them, Cardinals, Lions, and then they're tied with the Browns. What do all those teams have in common? They're not making the playoffs. That's why the Cowboys are not going to. The company they keep. When you miss tackles, you said it, Skip, you're not going to make the playoffs missing 19 tackles in a game.
That's what I say. What's the saying, Skip Bayless? The words you speak is the house you live in. The game they play is the house they will live in.
All I know is
out of the playoffs.
all we need to do is go win at Philly, and we get a home
You ain't
playoff
winning
game.
at Philly.
And I get another dinner.
You ain't winning. You're not winning at Philly.
Skip,
So
I
get that-
got a couple of
Hold on.
big dinners coming up.
Why don't you worry about the Rams? What y'all gonna do with them?
Let's bet that game, Skip.
You know what? The
bet that
truth
too?
is, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
That's
I would
what's
love to
odd.
see him win just to build a little or rebuild a little confidence, but it does
Because
not matter.
we already know what sideline
Does
the best
not
best
matter.
quarterback of 2016 will be standing on, don't we?
Yeah. Who would you take going forward?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff or Dak Prescott? I think I'd
Jared
take
Goff.
Dak Prescott. Carson, walk it to him, wins.
Walk it to him.
No, wait, he's bouncing.